Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Throwback Thursday. I am Josiah Henderson at the call, and we are taking things back to July 13th, 2024, as the Real Deal Eclipse taking on the Nashoba of Tribal Nation. And boy, was this a blood feud of sorts going on between Lockdown Outlaws and Tribal Nation at the time when this feud was going on. Then, of course, you see the ever-annoying JR win over there ringside. As now Nashoba trying to... Eclipse! Nashoba was trying to play a little mind games for Eclipse, but Eclipse taunted him right back. And these two men, you know, have a lot of ill will towards each other. Oh, the shoulder right there, fake the tie up and got a knee right to the gut. Now he's applying a side headlock, trying to apply pressure to the Real Deal. As Eclipse now trying to fight back on Nashoba, sends him off the ropes. Oh, Nashoba possibly having a power advantage over Eclipse. Especially in the early stages of this contest, ladies and gentlemen, from what we're seeing so far. But Eclipse reversed the Irish whip. And, what a beautiful hip toss right there by Eclipse. And so far, even Steven in this matchup, Nashoba going to the floor to get some words of wisdom, if you can call it wisdom, that you get from listening to JR win. Me personally, I just feel like I listen to a lot of verbal diarrhea whenever I hear JR Wynn talk. But that's my personal opinion on the matter. As Eclipse is inviting Nashoba back in the ring. Nashoba gonna take his time. But Eclipse beating him as soon as he gets in the ring. Eclipse, he was going away from Nashoba. He took the fight straight to him, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what Eclipse is going to have to do in this contest if he wants to get a victory. Beautiful clothesline. And now going into the cover here, one. Oh, quick kick out right there by Nashoba. And that's what a lot of covers early on in the match are going to be. They're going to be quick, but more than anything, they're going to be to send a message to your opponent and try to wear them down if you're the one giving the cover. As Eclipse now just stomping a mud hole, if you will, in the shoulder. Now, Eclipse letting everyone know, letting the cameraman know, letting the crowd know, letting Nashoba and JR Wynn know that he is indeed the real deal. He is here to get a victory tonight. As Eclipse, a lot of suplex right there. Cover once again. Got a 2 count that time. Getting closer and closer to a 3 count is the Real Deal. And that's what I was talking about earlier with the pinfalls. It's definitely wise to go for pinfalls, even when you know that the maneuver you hit is not going to end the matchup. Because, one, it sends a message of dominance to your opponents. But Nashoba breaking the eye right there to get back in this matchup. But it sends a message of you dominating your opponent, but also you can wear down your opponent very easily and very quickly that way, depending on how consistent your covers are. Because, I mean, what is Eclipse? He's probably like, like 190, 200 pounds. So if you're trying to push that off you, every 30 seconds, every minute, you're going to get worn out pretty quickly. But cover here by Nashoba, and Eclipse with the kick out. Nashoba trying to stay on top of Eclipse, trying to keep the offense going. He's participating in a little bit of that strategy I was talking about. Constantly staying on top of your opponent. And this is a very effective way to do it, ladies and gentlemen. I know it may just seem like a side headlock, but you got to think about all the weight Nashoba. Reverses it. Almost got the 3 count right there, but all the weight Nashoba was put on top of Eclipse, on top of applying a submission hold. That'll wear you down pretty quick, folks. As Nashoba now Nashoba is back on top in this matchup. Nashoba looking to get a win for Tribal Nation here. Looking to show the tribal dominance that J.R. Wynn likes to preach that they have here in Haybarn Championship Wrestling. They got a good opportunity to show that tonight. Oh! Beautiful slam right there. By Nashoba, cover. But it only gets a 2 count, ladies and gentlemen. Eclipse still fine, folks. Eclipse still has a lot of fight in this matchup. As JR Wynn now on the outside, looking a little annoyed at the fact that Nashoba has not put away the Eclipse yet. As the crowd here trying to get Eclipse back in this matchup, cheering for Eclipse. They're behind Eclipse. But Nashoba, these guys target, locked and ready. They splash in the corner and just making Eclipse sit down. As now Nashoba is the one looking to stop a mud hole into Eclipse. Nashoba taunting this crowd, taunting Eclipse, taunting all of HCW. As Tribal Nation is looking to put their stamp of dominance here in this company. And this is a very painful submission maneuver, folks. Is it going to be enough to make Eclipse tap out? Eclipse is fine. Eclipse is fine with all of his might, ladies and gentlemen. But it's a very painful maneuver. And if Eclipse is in this hold for much longer, I don't know if he can continue. He may have to give in to the pain, ladies and gentlemen. But Eclipse is fine. And if there's one thing about Eclipse, he got to the rope, ladies and gentlemen. I was about to say, if there's one thing about Eclipse, is that man does not know the word quit. And he showed it right there, ladies and gentlemen. As now a frustrated Nashoba is probably thinking to himself, what do I got to do next to put this man away? As he's picking up the real deal. Just yelling at him. Just unloaded. Shot after shot. His opponent and the referee now trying to initiate the count. So after all, Nashoba was in the ropes. But, big throat right there by the real deal. And Eclipse dropping to a knee. Obviously, the effects of this match taking its toll on him. And he's crawling in that cover. Took too much time recovering. Took too much time on the recover before going into that pinfall. Eclipse now, what does he have planned here for Nashoba? He rolled him out to the floor. I mean, you could win the match by a count out, but I know Eclipse. Eclipse ain't gonna take a win that way. What is he looking to do here? He's on the apron. Eclipse now following the shoulder to the floor. These two are just dunking it out. And the fight's going off screen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping our Roman ringside camera can get a good view on what's going on. It seems the feed of the ringside camera's not coming through. But the referee's initiating his count, ladies and gentlemen. I hope the real deal in Nashoba can hear the referee. Like I said earlier, folks, this match is a blood feud going on between Tribal Nation and the Outlaws. And it is spilling over. And I don't think me and Lee can hear what's going on. As you got the stage view, I can only imagine the brawling that's going on between these two on the outside, especially if it's dividing their attention like this. That was a 10 count, ladies and gentlemen. It's a double count out. What a way to end this tremendous matchup. And ladies and gentlemen, I have been Josiah Henderson. Please follow HCW on all of our social medias. And we thank you for joining us for another tremendous edition of Throwback Thursday on the HCW YouTube channel. Good day, y'all.